Are you looking for a faster video? Well, today it's a live stream, and I know you're probably looking for a really nice and tidy, edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop, you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Hello! How's it going? Happy Thursday. I am so glad to finally just sit here and sew. I have all these plans, I have these videos I want to record, all these things I want to do, and there's just so much good stuff happening. You know, the new cover stitch, the new serger, my little surprise that I have, which I hope you can't see actually. I might need to hide. And I'm just really excited about sewing a ton of knits, doing a bunch of pattern drafting, doing all the menswear. There's not enough time. Hello, Mrs. Necro. What I need is someone. Hi, Serena. What I need is a video editor and someone to maintain all the stuff. My website's a little out of date, like for all the projects. Anyway, hi, Malin. I refuse to become the person I was during Chicken Boots, where I would do this stuff till 10 p.m. every night. No one should have to do that for their business, especially because this isn't technically like, I don't know. It's not a salary job. Hi, Dar. Hi, Corey. Welcome, welcome. Hi. Yes. So I have threaded my industrial with 2 strands of thread through the top needle. There's only 1 needle on my machine. I don't know why I just said top needle, but I don't have top stitching thread in cream, and I just really love the idea of it on this mustard. I do have top stitching thread because this is a needle sharp box and it comes with everything, and there was top stitching thread. But I really love the idea of white on mustard, and it worked really good. So these are my tests. They were a little loose over here. You can see that how that one's a little wiggly right there. And what I did was I barely shortened the length of the stitches, and I tightened up my tension, and the underside is the bobbin. There's there's a hiccup right there. Right there. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because it got caught on something. So this was when and then this is where I'm at now. Hi, Hannah. Yes, exactly, Serena. And you know what? The thing is, like, I hate saying things like this because I don't want you guys to think like I'm playing a violin. Like, I have a great life, you know. We're finally at a stage where financially we're very, very stable. And I don't have to bring in money. That being said, I operate so as at least a break-even business. So basically I do this for free, and that's why I don't like saying that all the time. But it is good to note, right? I really do need like the Patreon support or patterns. I haven't been creating patterns for sale this year, so the Patreon thing is coming in clutch. Spoonflower fabric sales are way down, and I expected that because people are starting to go back to work and sewing less. So yeah, I'm really dependent upon that, and I really don't. I can't. I'm not going to put money out of my own pocket into this because I already do. Like I bought the machines from our personal account, and that was like a gift because we sold a house, and so we were like, yeah, we have a little extra money. And my husband's been buying tons of stuff for the house, like he's about to buy a tractor. So I'm like, why are you feeling so comfortable with this? He's like, you should too. I'm like, I just don't. I don't know why. I'm one of those weirdos that if I'm not bringing in the same amount of money, I don't feel like I'm allowed to spend it, even though it's ours. That's, I guess, a whole unpacking session right there, right? So yeah, so anyway, you're right. I don't need to be doing this. And I am, because I do certain aspects. You'll see me comment on things at 11 p.m. at night, or reply to an Instagram DM, or reply to comments on YouTube, because I really do like to keep up on that. And I really hope for as long as possible I'm replying to every comment that I can. And so I do it at weird times because sometimes I'm just sitting there gaming and I'll see a comment, and it's just better to not let them pile up, you know? So, hello, Asian. How's it going? Nice to see you again. I don't, Mrs. Necro. Hi, Claire. Nice to see you. Yeah, so, I don't know. I think it comes from the whole single mom thing. I was raised by a single mom, and so we were on our own for a really long time, and so I think it's just part of that thing of like I must be independent or self-sufficient. So hi, Elena. Okay, so I should have this right here. We're making the Dawn jeans today, and I looked up the size. This comes in a I don't know if they call this regular, but they have a curve version, meaning they have more sizes than what are in this packet here, because this one goes from a 24-inch waist, 34-inch hip to a 38-inch waist, 48-inch hip, and then the curve goes, ooh, I wish I would have kept that up, because I actually was listening to the Punk Rockers thing on sizing, and now I'm a little bit I've got all these different sizes in my head. Like what pattern companies come in what sizes. So let me look it up again before I misquote it. I know the hip goes up to 58 inches. And I can tell you metric if you guys are interested as well. I think you can only, let's look. You can only get the curve as PDF. Yes, you can only get the curve sizing in PDF. And so let's look at this sizing here. It's kind of awkward. You have to like hover the magnifying glass over it, and it doesn't behave. So it goes, the curve pattern goes, so it overlaps this one here on the table at the 14. So it goes from a 32-inch waist and 42-inch hip up to, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the magnifying glass to behave, a 48-inch waist and a 58-inch hip. That's pretty good. There's still quite a few sizes not there yet. Yeah, isn't this great? Yeah, Mrs. Necro, right? Yeah. It's like that whole thing. You could get me started on this because I just really want to get to sewing. But it is like we worked at the same place once, and it was so obvious he was given preferential salary and treatment. Oh, that's my my little speaker over there. It startled me because there was a person talking. I disconnected it from my phone, and now she's like, oh, I'm connected to your iPad now. And that really was so like salt in the wound for me, because I was like, wow, he's not even trained for what he's doing for this company. He doesn't have his degree in that. I have my degree in what I do for you, and I'm paid minimum wage, and he has a salary that's double. It was so affronting, I left. I was like, and we weren't married at the time, but we were together and serious, and then we were having a kid together, and it definitely made a statement, but nothing was ever done about it. I did some freelance work for them, and that was it. It really bugged me. It was so freaking patronizing. I was just like, how could you guys not? And this is what I was told. They said, because they promised me a raise, and they didn't give it to me. And then so I waited months. I asked about it once, didn't get it. And then when I left, I was like, I was just promised a raise. I never got it. And I'm just, I'm not doing that again. I've worked plenty of companies where they did this. And they were like, well, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I was like, I'm not paid to be a squeaky wheel. So there's a smudge on my glasses. So, all right. So if you saw yesterday, where's my little eyeglass majiggy? I got the cover stitch yesterday. Hi, Cecile. Yeah, do you know how my husband felt? He felt terrible about it, too. He felt terrible about it. Oh. It was clean my glasses or go to the bathroom before we started. What do you think I picked? Great company, though. Really great company. Treats the employees really amazingly. A lot of the people in executive positions, almost all were women. Do I think they were paid? Well, no, I don't. Anyway. Is that what that term comes from? Hi, Sharon. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, Mrs. Necker, that's like 50-50 gamble if my hem will work or not, you know? Yeah, do extra to be treated fairly. I'm like, yeah, I could talk a lot about that. It's interesting because the garment industry is dominated by women, but when I came of age in the garment industry and kind of went to work, there was this male persona called the garmento, and they were just so appalling to be around. And thankfully that was kind of dying out, like that kind of thing. Yeah. Anywho. Right, Cecile, I know. All right, so we're going to do the Dawn jeans. They come in 3 different leg styles. So there's tapered, straight. I have my camera zoomed in, so I keep forgetting it's like straight, which is what I'm doing, wide leg, and a short. And Barbara told me that the short, if you do this one, it's drafted for the wide leg. So if you don't want that wide leg, you might want to taper it a little bit. It did look pretty wide on her prototype. Hey, Sydney. Already told you about the sizing. And so because I got the cover stitch and we unboxed it yesterday, it meant that I didn't get to the buttonholes for the fly. So we're just going to flip the order of the sewing, and we're going to do the backs. And then we'll see how I feel at the very end of the stream, but I have my machine set up over there to do the buttonholes. This is the thing, you guys, my little tiny studio is swimming in machines right now, and I'm so busy, which is all really great stuff. I just feel like the uploaded videos are what people really want, and I haven't been able to make any this week. So, okay. Usually, if I'm going to use my serger, I pre-serge on some of these things, but I didn't today. I'm going to serge with you just so that this was a little bit more of a thorough sew through. I have a couple of these on there because I don't want to forget. I did test my thread. Look, I have actually thread that matches. I do know how often I get to use this thread. Never. I was pretty excited. Hello, Camille. How's it going? Yeah, nice to see you. All right, so should I try and do timestamps? How successful do we think I'll be on this? So I think that, okay, so if any of you missed it, I did I have threaded my needle. Did I just set it over here? Where did I set it, you guys? Did you see me set that? Oh, it's right here. I threaded my needle with 2 strands of thread. You can see there's 1 strand in the bobbin. I don't know if you can tell. What have you had since 4th or 5th grade? Your glasses? Are you in 6th grade, I hope? I think that's one thing. Every time I get a new prescription, I get new glasses. I drop kick mine constantly, like literally. So there's 2 strands of thread, and I just put it like this for those of you in the industrial machine world. The spool back here will probably stay mostly out of the way, and as long as it can go, you know, up to the thread cradle up there. So it was, you know, I have them both coming through here and then down, and I just pulled them through, and I had to hold one while I did it. Oh, okay, Mrs. Necro. Okay. Yeah, I haven't. I'm still kind of a noob, I guess, compared to that. It is a little bit hard to get 2 threads through the eye of the needle, and I found the best luck is if I poke them through at the same time. There's something about the fuzz that we can barely see on the thread that made it a little harder. There's probably a ton of tricks out there for getting 2 threads through the needle, though, so I won't bore you with it. You guys probably know more about that than I do, you know? You guys always seem to know those kinds of tricks and stuff. So that's how I'm going to do my top stitching, and I think I'm just going to sew them together this way as well. I also shortened the stitch length a tiny bit on my Juki 8700-7. I did 1 click. It's barely perceptible, but it made a difference. And so these were my first ones, and I went to the left. And then I also tightened up my tension, which is primarily the little knob, and then I did a little bit down here as well. And I go over this kind of stuff in the Juki maintenance video I have that's really thorough, packed with stuff, and what the difference between these is and a few other things. I am not an expert. In fact, some of it I had to look up. Yes, Sydney, I'm using 2 threads instead of thicker top stitching because I wanted cream. That's why. That's the only reason why I'm doing that. You don't have to do that to sew jeans together. I don't want you guys to think that's why I'm doing it. You can use top stitch thread because I have plenty of them here. And the needle sharp box came with these. This is the top stitch thread, and this was the thread to put it together, which is a little bit heavy duty. You can see this is really thick. And I just decided I didn't want it to match. I like the idea of the cream. But yeah, you can get, you know, in like classic denim denim top stitching colors. This is the thing from my sewing machine cabinet. This is quilting thread right here, and these are all top stitching threads. This is not top stitching thread, it's just a heavier weight thread. So I'll put these on here now. Add it to my collection of mustard colored threads. And of course I have the green one I've made jeans with before. So if you want to top stitch your jeans, I will say if you're going to be going through all the trouble of making jeans and top stitching, I think you're going to be really disappointed if you don't use a thicker thread for the top stitching. I know it's a pain to switch your machine, but you've gone through all the trouble of making your jeans. I really think you should switch your thread because when you use one strand, it just doesn't show up and it looks kind of flimsy and wiggly. Hello, Natalie. Welcome. I'm glad you're here too. I'm so glad. Yeah, I know the live time doesn't work for everybody. So, all right, so let's do it. And you can hear it sews just fine. Like I've been using it and trying it out. No problem. Tighten it up a little bit more. And the reason I'm tightening is I kind of look at it and I can kind of see there's a little bit of discrepancy. It's not perfect using 2 strands, but I kind of like the way it looks. There you go. Yeah, Sutter has some suggestions. Yeah, I've used a few different kinds. So I think it's a good idea to use a different thread or a heavier weight thread. I'm going to sew mine together. All right, so I'm going to also, let's actually, you know, I want to do some top stitching on my pockets, and of course I'm not prepared, but what if I did like the mustard plant? This is the content you're here for, isn't it? Accidentally stepped on there. What if I did the mustard plant? This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. I mean, what if I did something kind of somewhat resembling that? What do you guys think? I'm thinking something like, just something loosely resembling it, right? What does it look like again? Yeah, something like that. Up my pocket. Let's just go for it. I'm just laughing because I know it's just like, let me get my chocolate liner. That might be good. I thought of this at the last second before. Oh yeah, they're cute, aren't they? Watermelon. Yeah. All right. So, what if I love how I'm about to do that upside down. So if this is my pocket width right here, right? This is my pocket hem. So that means my stitching is going to be like right here. So I don't really want to, let's do it this way. I kind of want to keep my drawing there. So let's just, I'm really bad at sketching. Oh, it's some sort of leaf design. Hey, Terry, how's it going? I guess I could try a leaf design too. I don't see leaves on this plant. What if what I have learned is, that almost looks like wheat. What I have learned with sketching, because I'm really just not that great at it, is I just go fast and I don't think about it. I know you can't see my marker probably. I'm gonna need that chocolate liner to go there, but let's just try this. Oh, cool, Terry. Oh, so I actually learned quite a bit about, let's see, about the machine, you know, after I was live. There's not going to be a mustard plant test, right? This is a mustard flower that's not quite open yet. But one thing I did learn is, because a lot of people were giving some really great tips on how to go off the end of my cover stitch, and I stand corrected. So one thing I didn't realize was that concentrating, sorry. Dandelion. Oh, I could do a dandelion. I was gonna go for mustard plant because that's mustard denim. So you guys were giving me all kinds of great tips on how to go at the end, and I didn't realize that the chains, the bottom looper thread is actually chain stitch, and you can just pull it out with one little strategic tug. It's not like that on my cover stitch, so I am wrong about that. It's not quite a mustard plant, but I'm liking how this looks. And I'm really feel like I'm really lucky. Sorry about all the loud noises. I'm really feeling lucky that I started at the top. One more. Hey, Ursula. Mustard. I think I'm going to do leaves on the other pocket. I like that idea. They're kind of mustardy, right? I kind of just made up my own flower, but I'm into it. I like it. Okay, Alex from YouTube channel, Gingerhead and Company. Okay, so what I found, I actually made one of my first negative YouTube comments on someone's page. All right, what am I doing here? This one's the leaves. I don't know. Let's see. Can I do it like this? I kind of want the leaf to be, oh, I just feel like I just got very ambitious here. Oh. Maybe I should just do one thing at once. Oh, oh. What am I doing here? Okay, I don't know about that one. What do you think? Like that? It's supposed to look like the leaf's folding, you know, like you're seeing like the underside of the leaf. This looks like a camel toe. Do I want something in the center? I don't think so. I think that'll be fine. I'm gonna kind of accidentally nip it there. All right. I'm happy with that spontaneousness. Let's see. So far we've done a fox jumping from one pocket to the next on the mountain views. We did the cats on the Ames. Lightning bolts on the ash. I think all my others have been kind of boring, but yeah, I like that. Cool. Alright, so the thing I learned about the... I'm going to iron this, actually. Ooh, my iron is set up for the serger and the iron today. I got this new arm for this camera here, and I'm not sold quite yet. My little list pile here. I'm just gonna iron the hem of the pocket here. I don't usually do that, so I feel like I'm gonna be a good example and start that. Did I cut that asymmetrical, or is it actually asymmetrical? Doesn't it look asymmetrical? Oh, maybe it's just an optical illusion on the back. Wow. Fine. All right. All right, so one of the things I learned about the serger or the cover stitch is yes, so you can lose the back if you don't pull it. It is not very secure, and I now know why some of you were saying some of the things you were saying in the chat. So the thing I learned, and it's really funny because there's a lot of YouTube videos like, look at this great tip. It's not a tip, it's in the instruction manual, and you pretty much have to do it, is when you finish at the end of your cover stitch, you keep your presser foot down, turn the hand wheel towards you to put the needles down into the fabric, then turn them away from you and put the needle at the top, and then you can kind of hear a gentle click, and what that does is release the looper, and you can pull your work out of the machine. And you do it to the left, but if you're not careful, you will unravel that bottom looper, so you have to hold it kind of firmly and pull, you know. So I learned that, and then the other thing I learned was one of the techniques you guys were trying to tell me about with the crochet hook, and I thought that was pretty nifty. And then someone messaged me, I'm really sorry, I can't remember who that was, about you pull the top threads, just the two top threads out, clip those, and then pull the work, lift your presser foot, pull the work away from you, and then it locks it. And so then you don't have that issue. So these are all things I'm going to practice and get better at. So that was good. I'm having a tension issue now, and I did figure out that I was threading. Oh, I don't want to lose my little dandelion. How did I still get that wrong? Remember? I just kind of went crazy, didn't I? Maybe I will, what if I did this instead? I think that would be better. Let's do that. And I'll just overlock the top edge here. So once I figured out that I was threading it incorrectly, and that was one of the negative comments I left, because her threading demo was to pull the threads through, tie them off and pull them through. That was her how to thread the machine, and I was so disgusted by that I left a comment. I was like, I'm sorry, but... And why are all you people saying this is the most helpful video? She didn't teach you how to thread it. She taught you how to tie off, and she spends a lot of time showing you how to tie off your thread in a knot and then pull it through. So I was pretty disappointed in that. It felt very clickbaity to me. I can't see chat. I'm sorry. I'm going to overlock the... How do I do this camera thing here? Okay. I'm going to overlock this top edge here of my pocket. I really got a good ridge in there, didn't I? Yeah, so she didn't show you how to thread it, and then she doesn't tell you how to deal with the tension, even though she says she does. And I was pretty like, okay, well, you didn't help me at all. And I'm gonna say so. And she replied to me, and this was the reply, you guys. So I went and saw the reply, and I was actually really glad she took it, because I was like, look, your camera quality is awesome. I really appreciate how your video quality is really great. I said, but the thing is, you didn't show us how to thread it, and that's what I need right now, because I can interpret the instructions a couple different ways. And you didn't show us how to deal with the tension, which you say you're going to do, and that's another thing. I'm having a tension issue. It's because it was threaded incorrectly, but I'm still having... I was still threading it wrong, but I'm still having an issue. So that doesn't look straight. Let's iron this a little bit more. It didn't look straight, it didn't help me, and so I just said, I'm really sorry. Your quality of your video is really awesome, but I really need this. And she replied, she goes, I'm really sorry that I didn't include that. There's a great video out there, and I just, feel like I was trying to show the other aspects. And I was like, what other aspects? You didn't show us anything. No. And when I looked at my comment, you guys, like her reply to my comment, it was all like 3/4 of my comment, the negative things I wrote had a line through it. Like she hid that part. I could still see it. Is that a thing? As a content creator, I don't know if I have that ability to edit your comment. I am, Ursula. I will definitely do a ton of... oh my gosh, you guys have been talking. I'm so sorry. Well, Ryan, I'm just going for it. I found that I do better if I don't plan too much, and I don't have much time these days. So, yeah, the leaf, I like the leaf suggestion. So this is supposed to look like the mustard plant. Well, right, Ryan? that is absolutely how I'm going to do it. But I want to know how to thread my machine when it does come undone. And there's a kind of a weird spot on there. All right, so even if you don't get your pocket straight, like if you don't fold it straight, what I like to do is I stitch it from the right side and then just keep it straight from the edge, because even if this little line here goes up and down, at least it'll look straight from the right side. So And it would have been kind of nice if I would have used matching thread so it didn't go through my thing, but I'm not about the thread changing life today, sorry. Okay. So she replied and she said, you know, I can find that video for you if you like. And I was like, yeah, I'd really appreciate, thanks for the reply. And I said, also, why is my comment, like, why is there a strike through part of my comment? Because I was kind of curious, like, did she do that? I don't think YouTube would have moderated the comment because I didn't say anything, like, offensive. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is. Thanks, Malin. Isn't it crazy just turning it makes a difference? I have it set up directionally because I feel like sound quality is so important, and mine is because it has to be so far away. I can't mount it to the machine, otherwise it makes terrible noise. All right. So let's put our pockets on. Yeah, the fact that she edited my comment, if that's what happened there, I don't know about that. I'm going to screenshot it for you guys and show you. I'll show it in like an Instagram story. I don't want to like throw shade on this person. She was obviously a very experienced sewist, older than me, much older I think too. But at the same time, I'm like, why are all these people writing these nice comments on here? I get mad when people do that. I'm like, okay, that's not okay. All right. What do we think? Do we want a double needle top stitch? Double needle around or just a single needle? Yeah, you have a lot less echo and it's, yeah, exactly. What do you think? Single row of stitching around or double? Because I can see how double would look kind of cool. But let's see if we can kind of get an idea. Are any of these? I mean, what if it was like that? Double. Yeah, I think double too. Oh, you got it in a rust color? Well, shoot, now we have a tie in voting. Terry and Barbara. Okay, we got 2 doubles, 1 single. Or whatever you like. Come on. I think I kind of am a little partial for double, but I'd like to do single in other areas. So I'll go double. Sorry, Terry. I'm going to fold. I like to fold down the little corner right here in the pocket so that this doesn't poke up above the top of my pocket. And now I'm not going to start at the bottom. Sometimes I start here, go up across the top and down when I make the little triangle, but I'm not going to do that because you know what, also I'm going to make a longer thread tail when I can remember to do so that I can pull it to the back and tie it off. Or actually maybe I'll do fake bar tacks, you know. This denim is a little bit squishy because I didn't iron it flat before I cut it out. And the reason I do that is because I don't feel like I'm going to iron my jeans before I wear them. Maybe I would on something like a colored denim, you know? Because it's more like pants? Does that make sense? Yeah, that's a good idea, Terry. Let's see how we like the single. It's going to be on there anyway, right? Turn back my little corner and close it in there. All right, what do you guys think about the single? What do you think, Terry? I love the way this looks on camera. Stop it, Sydney. I think it can handle double. I didn't want it to compete with the flower, but I kind of want the flower to have a really strong frame. And usually I like to put singles so that it doesn't compete with it, you know? Do 3 stitches. Hopefully that's still turned down. Yeah, that works. Try and get that point. It's never where I think it is, you know? I only have 2 stitches across the top on this side. Let's do like a little bit of a fake bar tack. I think that looks cute. This way I'm not hand tying my bottom threads. That'll save us a little time there. Yeah, I like it. Hey Matilda, how's it going? You like the single? Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. Alright, let's do this one. Okay. I just like to pin my pocket in the middle just so it doesn't shift. I always find 2 pins is better because one, it can still kind of do this, you know? So let's get rid of these little threads here. That one doesn't matter so much, but these can come back to haunt me up here. Turn down that corner. I really should read a jean sewing book to see what they recommend. I was following this amazing denim sewist, but I had to stop following her because I think she posted 4 times a day. I don't know what was going on, but that's all I was seeing. And a lot of it wasn't what I wanted to see. You know? Hey, Libby. How's it going? I thought you were already here. Oh, you're clapping. I thought you were waving. I was like, wait, I thought we already said hello to you. You were here, you were here. Where's that point? It's not quite on the center of the leaf stem. Okay, it's a little, like a half a stitch away, so I had to kind of back it up a little bit. Turn back my corner. I feel like I could go another half stitch. Let's see if I can keep it 3 stitches apart all the way around this time. Oh, it's for trousers. I just see, oh, I thought I saw Maribel was here. I was like, oh, I haven't seen a Maribel in so long. I think I saw Martina's and Libby's names next to each other. Yeah, one more. There we go. 1, 2. Dang, I just can't do it, can I? We'll do a tiny bit of a fake back tag here. Didn't really show up when I did it on the other ones, but I know it's there. Ooh, I got a little thick because that corner made me nervous. Okay. I'm really glad this popped into my head right before I started. I like it. Okay, so now we're going to attach our yokes, and I'm going to single needle them on, and I'm going to serge the seams together. I already tried to serge on one just because of the thread, and then I was like, you know what, no, I'm going to serge these as I go rather than serging all the pieces first and then sewing up together. That is a faster stream, but at the same time, I don't have a whole lot of extra time off camera these days. These are 5/8 inch, right? Oh, they have a blip for jeans. You know, I like that Singer pants book. What's it called? Singer Sewing Pants That Fit, or Sewing Pants. It's pretty good, but yeah, it's all trouser. But I found it used. It is 5/8. That's what I was doing for the fitting. It was 5/8. Yeah. Okay. So even though I have the 2 threads through my needle, I'm gonna sew it together like that with the double thread. And then we'll put it on this one here. Oh, these are gonna be so cute. I'm excited. I think my pinafore top's gonna look so good with this, and it has poppies on it. Not mustard, but whoops. So these kinds of seams like this, when you have these sharp angles, you really want to start sewing at the intersection of the seam line. And the reason you do that, this is really important for beginners or people using maybe a pattern they're not used to with really sharp angles. If I were to line this up on the cut edge, like lining up my cut edges together like this, what would happen is if when I sewed it on the seam line right here, it would do this. You'd have this big jog right here. And then if you decide, oh, I just don't have it in me to take it apart and fix it, you would lose some of your hip girth, and you would lose it on both sides because you would have to blend in, you would have to cut this off and this off. So you'd lose it at the waist and at the hip. So just make sure that when you're doing these kinds of angles that you're lining it up right here at this juncture on the seam line. So that's why I'm kind of fussing with it. I'm like, all right, that's 5/8. There we go. And then when I am done, well, I can't really lift it up. Yeah, I'll show you in a second. When I raise it up, you've got this nice continuous line there. It's kind of the chef's kiss of sewing, you know. All right, so we have those. We need to overlock and top stitch. So let's do that. Yeah, Libby, I think that's the one I wanna check that out. I think that's a great idea. So many people recommend it. See, we're gonna have to work on our camera angles for all the serging and cover stitching. I'm gonna trim this down a little bit to a 3/8 inch seam. Yeah, Mrs. Necro. I went in the Patreon Zoom, a couple gals were showing it to me. And Libby was one of them. She has it. I was like, okay. Like, I think two of you in the chat had that same book, plus her others. I thought, that's a good recommendation. All right, so I'm going to push the seam allowances up. You can press it, even though it's denim, you can press it. I didn't, just... I would probably get a nicer effect, you know, if I did. And I'm going to do another row. So this is a good seam to use a double needle in your machine. You can't do it around the pocket, but you can do it on seams like this yoke. And then there's something about the quality of a double needle top stitch using 2 needles at once that you don't realize what a difference it's going to make until you see it, and then you realize, well, of course, that means every stitch lines up across from one another as you go, and it just makes it look even straighter, even though you know it's perfectly parallel because of the 2 needles. There's just something about the quality of it that does really enhance it. So if you've kind of been wondering about using one of those in your home sewing machine, I think once you do, you're going to be like, oh, I want to use this on everything. They're kind of fun. I think they make them for sewing denim so that it's heavier duty, you know. And you do the same thing. You put your 2 threads through all the same guides of your machine, and then at the needle you split and put 1 in each needle. You use 1 bobbin. So it's pretty simple. Happy. Oh, really, Malin? You got our cover stitch book and you were underwhelmed? Good to know. All right, center back rise seam. Next. Pants are one of those things that you... jeans, I mean. I think in general, let's see, I'm trying to think. I feel like you can do this 2 ways. You can make it so that you have a back to a front and a back to a front, and you have a left leg and a right leg completely sewn, and then you sew them together at the rise, right? And then you can do it the other way, where you do the center back seam, you sew your fronts and the center front, and then you connect them. You do your out seams and your rise, your inseam. So there's probably schools of thought on both of them, and I have to admit, the way I like to sew them, and it's probably because it's the stream, like putting my sewing into chapters that are nice bite-sized chunks and being able to say, I'm going to do the entire backs, and then I'm going to do the entire fronts, and then I'm going to put them together. That is really convenient for me. I have a feeling that fit-wise, it's probably a little bit better to assemble your legs individually and then put them together so your rise is one continuous curve. Like, this is kind of the same discussion of putting a sleeve to the body. You know, so I'm of the camp of doing it where you create the body, you create the sleeve, and you put them together and you have your 2 cylinders. So right now I'm doing it the cheater way, I feel like, maybe. I don't know. Oh, this is one thing I always try and remember, that I should be checking my top stitching with here, especially because when you do the seam, it's like, do you line up the top stitching or the seam if one of them's off, you know? Because I could line up my seam, but maybe what I really want to do is make sure I line up my top stitching lines. And these are a little narrower than over here. So we'll kind of pick the spot where they match the best. Fudged it a little bit. Let's hope I nailed it. We'll see. In the pattern instructions, I saw that there were a few places they recommend stay stitching. Sorry, I skipped that. Ooh, my seam allowance is a little big right here, and my booty does not need that. It needs it to be smaller, not bigger. And they recommend stay stitching the waist seam on the yoke right here. I think the rises and then the pocket curve, all the waist pieces. So yeah, possibly, Sydney. I'm definitely going to be doing some undershorts for wearing under dresses, which would be kind of the same type of sewing. That's funny, Allison. Don't worry about it. Have you seen I don't even think I've gotten to use it, but I have this new changing camera. See, look. You see you're allowed to get a snack? I'm thinking of you. Yeah, I agree, Libby. And I think that that's something to consider, especially depending on how heavy duty your denim is. And the juncture of the seams, you know? So I'm going to serge this. My machine's probably not going to be too happy with this area here. So let's do it. I got a little crooked because I was worried about that, but I think I stayed in my seam allowance, but I did get a little further. Yeah, not bad. I have that camera mounted to the machine here. Oh, you thought it would be more in-depth than it was. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Yeah, that's true, Mrs. Necker. They do sell for a lot. All right. So one tip I like to give, ooh, that matches pretty good, about sewing, top stitching your seam down your rise is if you push it to the right, your pant is right side up, you're going to be doing the same on your front because of the fly, and that is great because if you push it the same way as you're looking at it, when you go to sew this seam down here, they'll be offset. So if you push this is the right back, and then you push the pant to the right, it'll be to the left front. The seams will be offset. It's just kind of a cool little thing so you don't have to think about it. If you just always push your seam the same way as you're looking at your pant, like meaning directionally always to my right, then when you go to sew the seam, they'll be offset from one another and it'll reduce the bulk in that spot. And I'm going to do it to the right because I know when I get to the top stitching of the fly, it's going to be on the left front. All right, I'm just going to be careful here because I have the double threading thing here. Seems totally fine though, but I'm just going to be cautious. That's a lot of thickness right there when you're pressing the seam allowances towards the yoke, even for the industrial. And I think if I just had top stitching thread, I would have been very cautious as well because the top stitching thread with the bobbin, the tension does get affected a little bit. Ooh, stop that. It got wiggly right there. I felt my seam allowance move underneath me, like it got narrower, and that's probably that spot. So it guided my presser foot a little over. Right there. No one should be looking there, right? Looking good. All right, so maybe I'll put a stay stitch in this waistline since, you know, it'll be a few days. I'm not too worried about this stretching out. We'll do it. All right, so we have our back. Jeans are pretty fast to sew. Just saying. They take weeks to fit and a couple hours to sew. Okay. What do we got here? So we have the front pockets. That's back waistband. That is the belt loops. These are the fly. And then I have my pocket panel. What's this called? A stay. Pocket stay, but I'm using it like more like a tummy panel. All right, we have our coin pocket. So we'll assemble our pockets. I'm going to hem my coin pocket. I saw Nancy commented, she goes, I'm glad you're putting a coin pocket in these because they're not real jeans unless they have a coin pocket. Let's see if I can do this from the right side. A little iffy, but I want my thicker top stitching thread to be right on the top, right? So do our best. You might get it far away from the fold there, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. No one's going to see that. Plus, it's a pretty wide seam allowance. So when the seam allowance is... Oh, no, this one doesn't have a seam allowance there. It's just top stitched down. Wow. I added it. Hi, Louise. How's it going? Oh, Libby, I think you will find this interesting. I have 2 strands of thread through my top needle. I don't know if Terry saw this either, but I have 2 spools going here. They're going up through my thread cradle both and coming down, and then I just threaded my machine normally and they're both going through one needle and then the bobbin thread. Hi, Elizabeth. Yeah, so, and it's sewing pretty good, and these were my tests. This is when I first started, and so the only adjustment I made to the machine was I tightened up the tension a little bit, and I shortened the stitch length 1 click. And 1 click on my machine isn't very much. You're making the crop wide leg, those will be really cute. Ooh, we get your zip tomorrow. Yay! Yay! All right, so yes, I added this pocket stay. And I do mine a little differently than what you usually see because I just want 1 layer of fabric going between my pocket and the center front seam. Just mainly because I'm using it kind of like a tummy panel, just kind of smooth that area out. And I don't really want to add extra bulk by putting 2 layers of fabric because a lot of times we use quilting cotton as the pocket line, and that's pretty thick, you know. I just made my own top stitching thread, Terry. I've done this before, but I've never done it on jeans, and it's been years. And I am using a size 18 needle because I was hoping the eye of the needle would be bigger. Generally, I use a 16, unless I'm doing something like a rayon fabric, like a challis. I would use a 14, you know. But yeah. So Terry, on my 8700, I just took my stitch length 1 click smaller. And I tightened mostly my tension here, and I did a little bit of this down here, which I can't remember the name of that one. Sorry. Okay, let's get our coin pocket on here. Don't we have notches for this? I guess not. See, this is where I would put notches. I am hungry today, but today I made myself iced coffee I love it when it's iced coffee season. And because I used my pint cup, I put 3 shots in there. Oh, that's crooked. I'm not doing that. Did I do this? No, I didn't do this upside down. Wait, is my pocket upside down? Oh. Is it this one? Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Is it like this? Oh, okay, there we go. Whew. Remember I said these pieces are always really... No, that's not that piece. That is the... I had that correct. Do you put it at an angle like that? Maybe you do. I'm going to trust it. I'm not going to be a smarty pants. I'm going to trust it. What I don't like is it looks... Oh, because it's not hemmed. Okay, lining up my notches like this. Keeping that turned under edge. Yeah, right? Exactly, Terry. Yeah, so I'll show you Sydney on this, but it was pretty simple. I tried to keep it really simple so that it would be not so overwhelming to sew or do. You know? Alright, I'm gonna go up from the bottom. That way I can just go across the top and then down, and then I don't have any stitching up here. Turn this corner down a little bit. Get those ugly edges in there. It's a little thick doing that since this was a rolled hem. No problem. And I'll put a little bar tack here. A fake one. Traditionally, a bar tack is a zigzag, and I know that. I fake it all the time by using straight stitches, though. I hate these pins. Wait, it moved over! Oh my god. Well, how'd that happen? Did you guys just watch that happen while I was doing it? Rip. Okay. So, we're going to get our... I'm going to do those French seams. I think I'm going to serge this one, though. I did put a notch, right? Remember? Oh, there it is. It's up higher. Okay. Right? Oh, no, it's the side. Do you guys remember me putting a notch there? Didn't I have a notch there? Oh, yeah, it's right there. Okay, it's just this one's missing it. All right, cool. Like, I know I did a notch there. I'm just going to overlock this edge and both these curves. It happened when I tucked under the corner. Yeah. Do you ever let the live chat replay on your videos? Sometimes I want to read the range review. Yeah, it's there. F's in the chat, Michelle. Yes, you caught the rip. That's definitely a gamer term, rip. I said that to my friend in a text the other day, and she was like, what does that mean? You want me to rip it out? I'm like, no, it's not sewing ripping. It's different. It just means, like, oh well. Rest in peace. The live chat replay, are you one of the folks that have messaged me before and said, you know, where's the live chat replay? And you're right, it's not available right away. Wait. Okay, so I'm serging the long edge with, that's not the center front, and the center front edge has the notch. That's how I made this pattern. So it takes a bit for the video to process once I'm live. Oh, I probably could have backed off the tension of my machine since it's not the denim. We're gonna trim that off. Yep, I know, terrible. I'm terrible. Just making sure I do the right one, you know? Oh, okay, Noemi. Yeah. So, yeah, everybody knows F's in the chat. Oh, no, I did not interface that edge. I am overlocking. No interfacing. Since it's just the pocket facing as far as like covering up your lining, I don't think that's too... Oh, but you know, I was kind of on that train, wasn't I, Malen? I completely forgot about that. Yeah, so I do think that that's a really good strategy. I find that my homemade jeans tend to do this in the pockets a little bit. Does anyone find that out? So find that to be the case for them? And I completely forgot that that was a thing that I was working on, Malin, huh? Thanks, Mrs. Necro. Oh no, Elena, that's a bummer. Oh no. So it's, yeah, so it should say, yeah, how are you watching, Noemi? Are you watching on a phone or a desktop? I sometimes can't find it in certain things either, but I don't change it. It should be available. Okay, so I want my pocket print to show to the inside of my jeans. So that means I'm going to put this facing on the wrong side of my lining, and I'm just going to top stitch this down. So I'm going to line it up with the edges here. Don't shift, please. I'm going to go all the way around so that, I don't know, so it's nice and smooth. What is that? Dan's Viking. Thank you. Appreciate that. Wow. That was very nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That is a very generous donation. Thank you. I don't think I've seen you in chat, so welcome. I feel I have seen your name before. I have seen it. Oh, within 24 hours. Okay. It's usually for me by the morning, because I'll wake up and I'll have a few of those comments, and then I'll look and the chat's there, but right before bed I'll see it's not there yet. We need the opposite of F's in the chat when we get a nice donation like that. You don't have to top stitch all the way around the edge. I'm just being a little extra by doing that. And so at least this one I trimmed over here, we can see will be completely fine with when this line comes over here. Even when my seam allowance is gone here, trimming that off isn't going to affect that at all. Okay, we're okay. You're watching your phone, but you may be able to see other streamers you post. I'm not sure what's up. Hi, Rebecca. How's it going? Danish Viking. Yes, that's awesome. I love that. Oh, it says Dansk Viking. I like that, Moen. I like that you caught that. You thought the pocket scooching up was your gingers. Hi, Sandy. Welcome, welcome. You love the cover stitch? Really? I was struggling a little bit. I'm glad. My first time using mine. Yeah, so it depends. I think the finding your chat, it usually says for me, show chat replay. Which video are you looking at? Because we can just pull it up and look. Let's all look. And also, maybe it's in your settings. Oh. Okay, let's see here. So we're going to put the pocket stay on now. And let me just think about this so that I don't get it wrong. But I finally put my pockets correct side out because you know me, I always like the print to show on. So when I turn them inside out, I see the print, you know. So I have this sewing. I put a notch here and here, which is the fold line of this pocket, right? It's basically what I want. And this is what we're gonna see on the inside of the pocket. I think, oh, I did get it to match up. Well, look at that. I didn't think I did. I thought I had the fabric swapped like this. I kind of want this. This is the look I'm going for. I really want one layer of fabric, right? So if I put a 3/8 inch seam on this edge. I really wish I would have relaxed my tension when I serged this edge here since it's not denim. So, wait, I'm looking at this wrong. Here we go. Open it up, and I'm going to put this 3/8 inch, just line it up with the notch there. And this way I have a single layer for my pocket stay. And I just find that to be a little less bulky. If you're using it as like a tummy panel, you definitely want less bulk, right? All right, so that's what this looks like, right? And so now when it opens up, we have this one layer. We have our pocket. That makes sense? We'll do one more. Your part of Sweden used to be, oh, okay. Do I remember how much for me, Allison, I don't know. Okay, Noemi, yeah. Oh, nice. I don't know how much fabric you get for when you order a Needle Sharp subscription box, but I got so much fabric that I can make 2 pairs of cropped pants. All right, so remember how we put this? I put this right sides together, and I'm gonna line up the the notch there, which is, if you don't have it, you just fold it in half, line up your side seam here. This is my pocket fabric that I designed, and it's on Spoonflower. These were the trials. And so this one I've made a lot bigger now. I made the text on this one the same size as the text on this one, but it'll have the nice negative space around it. I think she's looking at the one we did yesterday, though. There we go. I almost did that on the wrong side. So if you want your pocket fabric to be, your hands to be able to see the right side of the fabric, you're going to do this the reverse side out, okay? I want my fabric to be visible on the inside of my pants. So this is how I'm doing this. All right, so I'm going to line this up just past that cut edge because it's going to go like this. So if it's confusing, think of it this way. Here's your swoop. Here's your center front rise, and this is how you want it to go together. Put that 3/8 inch seam line. Oh, I didn't mark the fold line, sorry. I was telling you to do that and I didn't do it. It's kind of like right there. My serging kind of drew up this piece of fabric so it's not matching perfectly. Oh, you know what? I am forgetting something here. I am forgetting finishing this edge. So I'm going to have to overlock this whole edge here. I was going to do a French seam here, but the way I designed this, it's going to have to be all hemmed together. So I'm going to put a single needle stitch right here just to give myself a seam. Ooh. I might be running out of bobbin. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm running out of bobbin. Oh, did I wind one? Oh yeah, I did. Phew. I've been kind of stealing my cream bobbins lately, and so I only had one. All right. Need a little swatch. All right, now we're going to put our pockets on the pants. So put these together. I'm kind of going a little bit ahead of myself by sewing the bottom of this pocket right now. And mainly it's just because I added this little feature. So sometimes I just don't do things in the correct order when I do that. Hopefully I've thought everything through. Oh. Okay, Terry. Hopefully it's there. Alright, so let's see, is this one? This one is this one here. And remember, the right side of my pocket is this wrong side of the fabric. I'm gonna sew this at 5/8 inch seam. Try not to stretch this curve. I'm going to trim this down a little bit, and then I'm going to clip it as well because it needs to fold back on itself. Pockets can be kind of confusing when you're trying to figure out what fabrics you want to show, but this is what it's going to look like here. And then we have our pocket stay going to the center front there. We'll iron that before we top stitch it. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot, and I think especially since that was my second stream of the day, usually I think I feel like no one's probably ever figured this out or even thought about it, but I noticed that if I stream twice in a day, the second video feels a little bit slower being completely available. It's almost like you only get one stream per day, Sarami. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's really true, if it's in my imagination. It honestly could be because of the time of day that the second one is. Maybe that one is a more popular time for my time zone. And so there's a lot more processing happening. That's very likely. So I'm just trimming this down to about 3/8 of an inch. You don't have to. I like the seam allowance to kind of fit with the top stitching though, and I feel like those really wide seam allowances, what will happen is you'll see the ridge of the seam allowance through the denim out here, and then when your jeans are kind of wearing, you'll see that like little white line there. You know what I mean? All right, let's iron this. Oh, we're looking right here. Iron can. Where's my iron? Warm up, baby. I saw this fun tip in the Sew Over 50 Instagram stories the other day, and it was, do you guys know those magic erasers? It's like this big white cube of, I can't remember what it actually is, and it's like to clean things, but someone did it on their iron and it made it look brand new. And I was all excited to use it, and I looked at my iron and I was like, oh, it doesn't need it. Oh well, I'll have to remember that tip. See, sewing that bottom, I should have waited to sew the bottom seam. I made it a little awkward for myself. It's possible, but it was a little jump on the gun. So when I'm ironing this, I'm kind of making sure that I can see a little bit of this yellow all the way around. That way I make sure that my white pocket doesn't creep out to the right side here. This looks so much better in person. I just want y'all to know the color. Someone said marmalade yesterday, and it does. It looks like marmalade on camera. Now it's hot. Why is that? Oh, okay. I was a little nervous there for a second. Just making sure it's still lining up to my side seam over here. See, we don't want that white peeking out like that. All right. Line it all up. Want your side seam. It can be a little bit fussy, so don't despair if it's not lining up. Just kind of work with it. There's just a lot of little edges. I'm sure it's fine. Just like that. I gotta be careful. I don't want to iron my jeans too much because then they'll get bigger than my pocket facing underneath. See, it did a little bit too. Because I have wrinkles in that fabric because I don't plan on ironing my jeans. You know? Maybe I could have stitched this a little further over that way and it wouldn't do that as much. All right. I'm gonna top stitch it, Elizabeth. I don't know, Beverly. I think like part of me wants to because I'm not into using them, but at the same time, it kind of pains me to do it. I don't know why. Yeah, it's melamine foam. Yeah, and you can buy big sheets of it. Exactly. That's what it is, melamine foam. I was going to say melanated foam. I knew that was wrong because I was thinking melanated fabrics. top stitch this. I don't think understitching would be a good idea. I think understitching wouldn't probably be enough for a pair of jeans pockets, you know? Let's line up all these edges because I love this part where you get to kind of stitch this down and it becomes all one. And then you have your front jeans. And then same across the top here. There we go. We have one front ready. My top stitching, we're not going to talk about that, right? We don't notice that weirdness at all. Bye, Elizabeth. Have a good rest of your day at work. Yeah, that. I think you're right, Beverly. I like that idea. Oh, I forgot to overlock the bottom. I can't. Yeah. Okay, let me top stitch this and we'll overlock the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, I think just top stitching it close or hand stitching it close. I'm a little hungrier today because I had that triple iced coffee. It was a big cup. I wanted it to taste the same, so I added the extra shot. Oh, now I'm hungrier. All right, let me overlock the bottom edge of my pocket and pocket stay. These are looking so good. So fast to sew. Alright, so this is the side that's showing up. Let's change my tension a little bit, make it a little looser. The reason I was going to do a French seam is I didn't want the contrast serging thread. And I didn't want to switch serger threads in mid-project. All right, I forgot to take this out right here. Let me pull out those few stitches there. This is why you need to back tack when you're just tacking something down. It does make it so that it's still easy to remove. Cool. Let's see where we've got so far. We have this one here. Let's look at this one's not stitched down yet, so let's stitch this one down. So next we have, you can't put it off any longer. You got to do those buttonholes in your fly. It kind of sounds funny, doesn't it? Just checking all my edges. Let's look at it this way. Let's reassure ourselves. You know, even though I have this a little misaligned, that's no big deal. It's a 5/8 inch seam line. We got like massive amounts of room there, you know? Top stitch, or not top stitch, but stay stitch this top edge. They recommend doing this anyway before you start sewing, kind of stabilize the waist edge. And apparently Sydney learned the hard way that that's a good idea. And then I can do maybe a little tack on this down here. I don't want this to pull. I mean, I guess you could. There's probably some experimentation that if you wanted this tummy panel to kind of be a little slimming, you could probably make it a tiny bit smaller. And I would probably just put it, you know, not do it up at the top, but maybe shave off a little bit to nothing here, so a little more down here, and then pull it over, and that way this distance is a little smaller, you know? Don't overdo it. Yeah, that's true, Beverly. I mean, it doesn't bug me. I just kind of thought it would be like a little classier if it didn't show at all, you know? So, all right. Okay, so we have our fronts. We could tack that down at the bottom there. So this tummy panel was optional. I did this myself, and basically at the fold line of the pocket, I just put a piece that's 3/8 inch past it. That's the seam allowance I chose to use. That's it. And I went to the center front. I didn't do a very good job there, but that'll be okay. Same thing, 5/8 inch seam here. And then I only have one layer of fabric getting folded back in there. So, you know, Allison, I was looking at the buttonhole placements on the fly, and I think that they're too far apart. No Spanx jeans. I think, like, yeah, you can't ask the tummy panel to do too much because you wouldn't want to put it under a lot of strain and then start tearing at the center front seam. Or what if it created like a ridge? Like, what if your belly hangs a little bit lower and it's cutting across that, and then you get that little blump, you know? So yeah, then let's see the backs because they're so cute. I'm happy. So I think that the buttonhole spacing is a little far apart on the pattern piece. And so I was like, you know, what do I have that's similar? So I pulled out the Morgan jeans, and those are much closer together, and there's more buttons. So, oh yeah, like a little piece of power net. That is such a great tip. We talked about that in one of the other sets of jeans. Remember that, you guys? So that's a good idea. You can get power mesh or power net, and I think there's quite a few places that are starting to sell that, and you could use it as a tummy panel as well. I think that's smart. Yeah, if you want to use it for that. I also like it so that my pockets, another main reason is I don't like it when this pocket folds up or gets wrinkly, you know? So, all right, so I think I'm gonna do my buttonholes now if you want to join me. Wow, it's only been an hour and a half. Has it really only been an hour and a half? Wow, I didn't do any of my timestamps, and I remember we started sewing it like 35 minutes in, and I was like, oh my God. So in an hour, we did all that. You can do it, right? In an hour, we did all that. I even embroidered the pockets and everything, I think. Yeah, 1 1/4. Yeah, and so the Morgans were 1 3/8. Yeah. Yeah, Allison, I think that was just an accident, honestly, because it is. I'm so glad you showed that to us. I really appreciate you putting that out there, your photo of yours in the Facebook group, because that did make me think about it. And I don't think I would have. I would have just probably followed their guide. Yeah, PowerNet doesn't exactly. Is it very open weave? How is it when you sew it? You don't need a hem finishing on it. Interesting. Okay, so I haven't done buttons and buttonholes in a while, so this will be fun. I'm really about putting myself out there with weird machine issues lately, aren't I? I may need to still set up that. Let's see what it looks like. Well, it's not too bad. Let's see. What do we want to do? I think you're not gonna be able to see me sewing, but you're gonna see. I have my button fly there with the pins marking about the spacing, and I'll show you it in comparison to the fly. So let's see here. What do I need to do? I need to switch over the face cam and the microphone. That's about it. So let's position the face cam right now. This is just easier if I can see where I'm looking. dress form with her funky little crotchless jean skirt. I mean, I guess jean skirt is crotchless, to be fair. Yeah, I'm wondering that too, Libby. Okay, I need my scissors, my awl, because I can't leave home without it, and my seam ripper. We'll bring our jeans over just because we want some eye candy. What else? I feel like I'm packing to go away from home. Okay, I need to move the microphone. Oh, I want to see this power fabric you guys are talking about. Oh, I need to switch the light. Is that over there a little bit? I don't like the lighting over there very much. All right, microphone. Let's go on a little trip. Okay, I can't do all this with one hand. So yeah, you see, I'll show you. This would have been the spacing. That would have been the spacing. Go the wrong way. Okay, wait, I'm rotating my computer around. Oh my gosh. I have it all the way I need to do it, but now I just made it harder. There we go. That way I can see chat. This is why I have that a thumbnail that says I'm changing cameras, so you don't have to endure all this. And then you can, use the restroom, get a snack. I'll put the microphone up here. Oh, there we go. Boy. Okay. Anyone seasick yet? And actually no fly. Oh. Well, yeah. This is my cover stitch machine. I've got like a lot of stuff going on up here right now. So you see that amount of difference there? So this would be the spacing on the Morgan jeans, and I have those and I like it. Yeah, Nancy, right? I know, I have that cute little changing cameras thumbnail now. I even showed it to you guys earlier and then I didn't use it. All right, so, oh, I meant to bring the tack buttons. And some sample fabric, all right. I think one thing that I might be disappointed with is that my thread is not very heavyweight. So this is my little Bernina 140. It's a very, very good machine. Oh my gosh, stop it. I have a buckle, a little buckle on my clog, and the cord was getting stuck on it. So yeah, I mean, I kind of want a thicker thread, but I don't trust it to want to sew the buttonhole with a thicker thread. I could try it. Might as well, huh? I know I can't get 2 strands of thread. Let's see here. gonna try this. Yeah, right? Yeah, like this is the Morgan jeans. That's how they do theirs. Right, Allison? Don't you think that that would have made a big difference? Rather than these three? That makes so much difference, I think. Okay. So when I saw there were only three, I was like, huh. I think I want them closer together. Yeah, it's a really long fly. Yeah, and that's a good point, Nancy, because I actually thought about making it a little shorter. Because as long as your fly is going to your hip line, that's all you need to be able to get them on and off. You need it to open up to the fullest part of your body. So, you know, and I tried plenty of these on, and then I checked to see, you know, where was that clip happening. And so the clip on the pants is much higher than where the fly goes to. All right, so the clip goes to here. So I don't think I need this button right here. I think all I need are these. And I'm going to shorten the fly. Yeah, Barbara, I think that that's what we're discovering, is that the spacing of these is just, it's a little too far apart. So purple would have been where you're supposed to. So I'm adding an extra button, and I'm shortening the fly a little bit. Yeah, that's what I think too. I think it will solve the lumpy crotch issue. Lumpy crotch. How you like that, YouTube, for subtitles? All right, let me try the heavier weight thread here. I don't usually have a whole lot of good luck using the heavier weight thread. This one's not as heavy as this one, but this one matches. I'm going to try it just because I would really like this one to work, but I don't think it will. Well, let's try on my machine, because I am all about the experiment. Why can't I go longer stitch length? Is it because I'm sewing right now? Is that really as long as my stitch length goes? What? Okay, well that worked. That is the smallest stitch length ever. Okay, well I'm doing a buttonhole, and then so this, my machine has the keyhole style buttonhole, and I don't have luck with it, so I'm gonna try it anyway though. Oh, you got some, Nancy? Thanks. You know, it's funny because when I looked at I get a daily thing from Spoonflower, and I haven't seen any sales with it. Right, Mrs. Necro? Yeah, the subtitles on Twitch are worse than YouTube. Oh, you did, Nancy? That's awesome. Yeah, so I've been using 2 strands of white thread for all my top stitching. Did you just get here, Nancy? Hello. Check them out. They're looking pretty good. But I used 2 strands of white thread. That's right, I'm doing a buttonhole trial. And it's not doing anything. Oh, yeah, I didn't like that. Oh, yeah, see, now I'm stuck. I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. Okay. Well, I'll try a regular buttonhole and see, but I just don't have much hope for it. Not with the thick thread. Oh. Oh, that sounds terrible. No, that's not going to work. I can't do that. Okay, let's try the other thread. This one here. Not top stitching thread. Still heavier than regular thread. Yeah, you're right, Mrs. Necro. Yeah. I have subtitles on probably 75% of the time with anything I watch. It is entertaining sometimes. Sometimes I'm pretty amazed that it gets it right. This doesn't feel very heavy actually at all. I think it just looks like it's heavy, but it's not. Let's see. Where's that spool I was just holding? Number 50. No, this is the same weight. All right, well. Bobbin thread, just regular weight thread. And then on the Bernina, someone, I think it was Barbara or Beverly, told me about using the little whoop-de-doo on the end here. So on a Bernina bobbin case, there's this little arm, and when you put your thread through there, it makes your buttonholes. So don't forget to do that. Yeah, 50 weight, you think so? Okay. I just wanted it to really show up, you know? Yeah, the Dawn jeans are button fly. Then it might have been Beverly. Because, you know, I always get you two confused. I'm sorry. Especially back then. Now I can tell you apart. But I had you still confused back then. Okay, so. Alright, cool. I'll try the Taylor's buttonhole one more time now that I have this thread weight in here. So what I mean by that is the buttonhole looks like this. So my machine has a buttonhole that looks like this, right? And then I also have one that looks like this. I don't want to talk about it. It looks like this. That's enough of that. Let's see if it works though. This is what they recommend for tack buttons because tack buttons have such a big shank at the end there. Oh, see, I just don't think so. I've never had luck sewing this buttonhole on my machine though. So we're going to stick with the standard one. Let's decide the length. Just need one. So I have the beginning of my buttonhole marked with a little thing of chalk there. You see that? I know, right, Mrs. Necro? I had to stop because I was already blushing. Stop it! Oh my gosh. So I figured YouTube wouldn't know, except now you're typing that in the chat. Thanks a lot. Keyhole. Yeah, our Taylor's. Exactly. Thank you. So what I like to do is, I don't really need a line, except for the fact that you do want to make sure that you're getting your buttonholes parallel to each other. I'm using a Choco liner. I will say that the chalk may stay. The yellow chalk tends to stick around a bit, but I love this thing so much. It's so precise when you're drawing anything. I mean, look at that. It's just, and it works so good. So easy. Yeah, that was pretty bad. When I do my buttonholes, I do like to have a pin off to the side like this, because when I'm sewing here, I can't see my chalk here, so I look for these, and I kind of put them a little bit further than that. I put them far away from the actual button where I'm sewing, because that way my presser foot, when it's right here, I can see where my pin is, and it just helps me find it. I only marked my buttonhole to be the same length as the width of the tack button. I haven't added any extra yet. And that's what you need to experiment with. In general, I think a button, if it's not too tall, if you make it just barely past the width of the button, the length of your buttonhole, it's okay. On the button fly, you do, Louise. It's pretty hard to unbutton them if they're not, too. But you want that kind of horizontal movement. And vertical holes would pull apart. You know what I mean? So then they would do this. What did Natalie say? I have my live chat on. Why don't I see Natalie's comment? Is she teasing me though? I don't know where my mouse is. I think I left it over there. Yeah, exactly. They would gape open. That's a great way to say it. Oh, my new... I don't have it set up. I do want to use it. I should be using my new serger, but it's still in a box. Look. Serger, cover stitch. Keyhole sketches, lumpy crotches. Yes, exactly. You never knew what you were bargaining for when you came here, did you? I will say, like, I've been trying to get caught up on all the punk frockers sewing podcast. I really like that podcast. It's very conversational, but I also think that they are saying all the things we're thinking. So it's almost like the after dark version of Love to Sew. It's not naughty or anything like that. Like, it's not going to make you uncomfortable, but they're talking very openly and plainly about bodies, and I really appreciate that. And, you know, so, and Love to Sew is not like prim and proper or anything like that, but I just think like Punk Rockers is a little bit more gritty. So they're both very good compliments to one another. But you like it. Good. All right, let me try one buttonhole. Did I throw my tack button in here? Oh no, okay, there it is. I'm like, I can't lose one. All right, let's get this show on the road here. So see, I just marked on either side of my button, right? You saw me. I just did on either side. So theoretically, as long as my ends of my buttonhole are on that line and that way, the buttonhole is the same size as my button. Now, a lot of times they'll tell you to make it a 1/16 of an inch longer or something like that. It really, what it depends on is the thickness of your button, meaning this way. What's going to be going through that hole? So if you had one with like a rounded top, you're going to need more space. Even if it's shorter, like you're going to be surprised when you see those little ball buttons. They're really tough to get the right size buttonhole for, and you don't want your button and buttonholes to pop open either. Yeah, Elena, that's awesome. I have a bunch. I was listening to a ton of them today. It was really fun. And then I started messaging each of them. I'm sure they were like, "Oh my God, Jeremy, stop. We don't even know you." Is it really, Nancy? Oh, that's a bummer. Oh gosh, Sydney. Yeah, being in the gaming world, me too. And I've always been kind of like that. My mom kind of had a dirty mind. Sorry, Mom. I know you're not listening, but you kind of do. All right, so I'm going to try just the actual length of the tack button. So see that? And let's just try it out. Start it over. So see, I can't even see that stitching there. I really do need like these pins. I'm gonna start doing this side. Kind of far out here. And I found that I have to be careful. I have to pin these pretty parallel. So this line of this pin is mimicking the line of that. Otherwise, if I do it at a little bit of an angle, I may not know where to go. The diameter of the button plus the thickness. Oh, that's a good point. I mean, that's logically, yeah. Oh my gosh. If I wouldn't have started laughing, it would have been fine. But it's because I just at first was like, oh, that's a terrible sketch. And then I'm like, oh, shoot. Okay. See, now this foot pedal, it has lots of extra and it goes to the ground, which is so nice. Oh, I hope I have my buttonhole foot on. I might not. I do find that helps. You know, when I say, okay, I want you to now go the other way, it does one more stitch and I forget it does that. Looks okay. I need my water. And I got the mouse. All right, let's see how the buttonhole fits. Or the button fits in my buttonhole. Kind of the same thing. It's a little tight. I forget to use this thing and I always end up using my seam ripper, which I find to be a little more accurate, you know? Okay, so that'll work just fine. All right, so now we know we want, so sometimes this is what I do. I take that little button hole and then I hold it up to what I'm doing to make sure it's actually the same, you know? Cool. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I apologize for that because I know that that's such a pain when dogs start reacting to things. Oh, I'm going this way. Okay. All right. Oh, I meant to check if I had my buttonhole foot. Hi, Eliza. How's it going? Nope, not my buttonhole foot. It makes it a lot easier if you sew with a foot that has the buttonhole marks there. Night, Malin. Sleep well. Maybe see you Saturday if you're around. Oh yeah, I noticed that already. Yeah, that is probably why it didn't work. That's a good point. I will say having thread that doesn't quite match makes it a little easier to see it where I'm coming upon the end, you know? What do you guys think about not cutting them until I have the fly sewn in? You know, then that way, I mean, if I had to make a different configuration, I could still. One more. Yeah, right? That's what I was thinking too, Sydney. Not bad. I don't have matching thread on the bottom, I guess. Alright, maybe I'll spend time and hand tie these. I think I'll wait to cut them though. And I also am going to try and shorten my fly. So I'm going to put a couple pins in here so I remember to do this on Saturday. I think that'll be plenty, you know? Alright, so let's see what we got. Yeah, right, Alina? I think so. And I also think it gives me a slim chance of maybe repositioning them. All right, we got our backs, which look pretty darn cute. We have our fronts. I've already lost one. Oh, here it is. And we have our button fly. We did a lot today. We're pros now. The lighting over here. Cool. All right, so Saturday I will be putting in the button fly. You're going to be shocked at how easy it is. And then we'll be putting the pants together and the waistband on. Oh, that'll be cute, Allison. Will you do the cropped version in a wide leg or straight or skinny? What are you thinking? The wide leg looks really wide, but I think that would be so cute with linen and then maybe like a really wide vent on the side, you know? I think that'd be really cute. Well, this was fun. All right, so we got so much done. I might stream the unboxing of my serger at some point, but I want to make sure I get my cover stitch set up before I add another machine. But it would be really nice to be able to use it on the rest of these pants, but that's okay, you know, if I don't. Try not to rush it. What else did I want to say? Oh, have you guys thought of any more menswear patterns? Oh, it's hard, Libby. It's hard. It is really hard. When it's going really good, I really want to finish them too. But I have lots of really good things to look forward to work on. Oh, I see. You're going to make the cropped to make them full length. Yeah. Cool. Bye, Ursula. Thanks for coming by. You want to see the serger unboxing? Yeah, so it's right here. And I'll definitely do it live. I just don't know if it'll be like today or tomorrow or Saturday. I'm exercising self-control about that as well. But I want to get the tension fixed on this. I've got it really close now. And then I'll add the serger just so in case I have issues with that, then I don't have like two machines that have issues, you know? And then we need to figure out the cameras. I have a feeling I'm going to have to move my desk. Oh, that's a good idea, Elena. Yeah, that's right. Do you have any that you recommend or that you'd like to see? I love the idea of that. You know, when I did that Annie cardigan, the neckband looked so torqued on camera. Because I did the timestamps later and I was looking at that. It looked so torqued on camera, but it's really not. It's barely torqued. It's a little bit. I think partly it's because if I would have cut that on the stretch going the other way, it would have been a little bit easier to handle. And if I would have slightly been stretching it as I went. Okay, cool, Terry. Thank you. What's the... Oh, is the Gosling one of theirs? Okay. A baby goose? Okay, cool. Okay, Elena, that's awesome. So far, I have my list right here. That's why I had those little books on the iron thing here, because I did want to bring that up because I wanted to. I have to kind of start getting stuff for things, you know. So far we have Victoria Jones men's shirts, Albion by Seamwork, Cornell shirt by Elba Textiles, Comox trunks by Thread Theory, North Star hoodie by Love Notions, were all things you guys threw out there. And then I was thinking the cargo shorts by Wardrobe by Me, maybe their jacket. I don't think I'll be able to do the jacket that month because I want to do so many men's patterns, and that could be like a 4 or 5 stream jacket. So that's all gonna be July. We're gonna do menswear all July. I'm really hot to trot on doing some pattern drafting with our blocks, but I'm also hot to trot on doing some cover stitching and serging, because I was like, oh, June, I'm gonna do all knits all day, all June. But then I was like, no, we were gonna do our some pattern drafting. So maybe what I'll do is in May, I'm gonna start doing some knits. I'm gonna come out with a schedule soon for May because it's next week. I'm taking 1 week off from my birthday, and then we'll do some drafting and knits between May and June. And I also want to do the Noise jeans. Oh, there's a cargo pant, the Levine. Short sleeve button, I'm sure, with a sleeve tab. Oh, okay. Okay, so let me write those down too. Men's boy. I could write it on this, you know. You didn't see anything. So Def, Levine, Gosling. Terry's gonna bring some suggestions as well. Cool. All right, guys out there that want us to sew menswear. I'm not sure any of you have made suggestions, so feel free, okay? We want to make what you want to wear. At least I do. I started thinking about, I was like, oh, I'm not going to do any men's underwear again because I just did that last year, but I take that back because I have the serger and the cover stitch now. It would be kind of fun to sew them again using the new machines. So maybe I would combine that with some knit sewing in June and then lead into our menswear. So I'll probably will look at that trunk pattern. The trunks though, that's a swimsuit, isn't it? It's not underwears. I'm just now making that connection, so I'm sorry for saying to the person, oh, we did men's underwear. So I'll look at those. All right, let's see, what else did I want to say? Let's see. I don't think anything else that important. I'm trying to make my schedule. It's so hard to keep up. I have stuff to do. Yeah. So. Summer pants. You saved the summer pants for more for me to tempt my husband with. Oh, that's right. We're doing gateway pattern sewing for your husband, right? We need to get him on board with wearing home sewn stuff. Summer pants. Wardrobe by me. Cargo shorts. Oh, I think I did see those summer pants. They're kind of like joggers, elasticated at the ankle. Wait, actually, don't quote me on that. The ones I made, Libby, were the they are. Let's see. I think they're. These right here, they are by the Pinup Girls, and they have 2 versions, so you can do it with or like this, with the sling, without the sling, opening or no opening. You don't have to. And this is the back. This is what I made for my husband, and he likes them. So it's by Pinup Girls. And I found this on the Bra Builders website. They're very easy to sew, very fast. I actually really recommend it. It was a great pattern. And like I said, he's on the small end and they fit him really well. Straight leg, wow, okay, with the yoke and pockets. Yeah, I think I did see those, but then I started thinking about the free range slacks picture that Sew House 7 pictured posted yesterday, and someone had elasticated the ankles. So then all of a sudden I was like, wait, am I getting confused? Because I think both pictures are the guy's on the beach and I pictured her on the beach. You had a hard time finding it? Let me find it for you guys. Because this Pinup Girls company isn't really a website or anything. I tried to find a lot more about them, and then I learned that I think they are bra builders or they bought them maybe. I found them completely by accident. So, stop that. There we go. Okay, so I went on the, okay, here's the Bra Builders website, brabuilders.com. I just did, I clicked patterns and notions, and you can see there's this Pinup Girls brand. And here they are, right here. I'll put the link in the chat. I feel like these are identical to the ones that my husband buys. That's why I got these. Yeah, that's what I think, Libby. I think that you're right. That's the conclusion I came to as well. Where am I? Nope, I'm not there. I'm at the pattern table. Yeah, so I find that it was interesting that I had trouble figuring that out, though. Bra Builders. Yep, not Bra Maker Supply, but Bra Builders. But they don't sell the elastic you typically find on men's underwear. And that I am on the hunt for. If anyone finds the elastic you use for men's underwear, because you want something that's about 1.25 inches wide, and you want it brushed on one side. So if anyone has a lead on that, I'm looking for that. Because I use braided elastic, and it feels so scratchy compared to the elastic on his underwear. He says it's fine, but wouldn't it be nice if it were just more authentic? I think it's a better sell to someone you're trying to make underwear for. Like, look, I made you some underwear. And then I used the bamboo fabric on hearts.com. So let me see if I can find that for you. Whoops. It felt the most identical to his underwear. Oh, that fabric that's on is so pretty. Okay. Oh, did I just ruin my... Here we go. Search. There we go. Now, there we go. Let's see if I can find it. And then if you want to shop somewhere that is closer to you, this is what you're going to look for. So this right here would be, these bamboo knits would be good. Let me show you this is the one I bought. This one's out of stock, but let's just look at the details so you're kind of know what you're looking for. It's lightweight, it's slinky and bouncy, and it's called, this is a jersey knit by Telio. I like that they have the like grams per square meter on there. It's just so if you're trying to compare apples to apples, you know. And then I also got a yarn dyed green stripe. See, I've made the Alcott out of that, and that would have worked as well. The bamboo knit heather with the feathers. I think a lot of these bamboo fabrics, if you're not opposed to using bamboo, are very, very similar to a lot of the men's underwear that aren't in the techie fabrics. But you can also get techie fabrics that are also really close to a lot of the... oh, you found some elastic. Awesome. You can find some of the techier fabrics, and what you're looking for is probably... looking at their insulation fabrics, and then it would be kind of like a base layer fabric, and then you can get some like power dry or something similar to power dry that wicks moisture, and that would be really close to some of the menswear things too. Oh, that's awesome, Mrs. Necro. That's smart. There, wait. Oh, it's Beverly Johnson's line. Oh, interesting. Bye, Sydney. See you Saturday. Etsy has some elastic. Okay, I'm gonna try and write a note to remind myself to look for that. Oh, I'm trying to keep track of so much. All right. Cool. All right, cool. I'm hungry. But we got so much done. So that was awesome. I'll see you guys Saturday, maybe before. I'll probably do a Friday sews tomorrow. There'll be that. I'm liking those, and I think it's a good rhythm for me. You just searched elastic for men's. Okay, I hadn't even done that, so I apologize. I hadn't even done that yet. I looked last summer and didn't find any, and then I figured now though there could be some, especially because towards the end of summer I feel like there's like the bra August, and there's a lot of people buying supplies. So now getting it now would be better. So yeah, and I'm also going to plan ahead so that I can get as like. If a yard and a half gets me 2 extra pairs, whereas a yard gets me, like half of a second pair, I'm going to get an extra little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure that I plan ahead this time. So, yeah. Yeah, I have leftover veggie pot pie that I made. So I'm excited for lunch. Cool. All right, I'll see you guys Saturday, and you'll probably see me before with my new serger, unboxing that, and and we're going to start doing some serging and cover stitching, so that's great. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Bye! Hey, and thanks, Dance Viking, for the donation. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys then. Bye! Oops, wrong one. What is that? Image with camera and mic. Okay. Where? Here we go.